Morning, team. Morning, team. I'm in here early today. I know I'm early, but I want to go over everything with you and make sure you're all protected. Okay, make sure you're all safe in the market right now. It's my main priority is to make sure you're going to be able to trade next week. Those of you who joined yesterday would have known my focus yesterday was what? Short side. Only short side, not interested in any longs. I expected further pain in the market, further continuation in the market. We're not in a normal market. Why do I expect that pain? Because we're into liquidation territory. All right. When we're into liquidation territory, the last thing you want to be doing is picking bottoms, trying to play the squeezes back up. Much, much easier to let everyone feel the pain and try and join the market short side. So overnight, we've definitely had a major liquidation event. Okay. It was expected. I kept saying, even yesterday, expect the other countries to start coming back and either saying they want to sit at the table or saying, go F yourself, America. We're going to tariff you on this, this, and this. You're not going to be able to have this, which is what we had overnight. China coming back and saying, all right, well, good luck having any of our raw materials and precious metals and stuff like that, which you need to be building any of these chips. All right, so the trade wars have well and truly begun, causing another, what? How big was that move overnight? Basically another 1,000 points down. This is why I'm saying do not be the person trying to pick bottoms. You need to be looking at the daily and the weekly charts right now. You need to understand the same theory we talk about when I'm playing the lower time frame charts. Where is people's pain point? We're doing the same, but we're doing the same in swing positions right now. We're looking at where the bulls are stuck. All right, where are their swing pivots on the daily and weekly charts? And we're going back, up to a year now, and it might get more than a year if we keep rolling over and causing pain. All right. So you need to be aware of that. Very, very, very aware of that right now. And I just wanted to talk about that first before we get any further into the charts. What does that mean? You've got to be so careful with your positioning. All right. You are looking at candles which probably look like normal 5 and 10 point candles, and they can be 100 point candles. Some of you in chat are currently talking about the NFP print being a bit of a nothing burger. But if you look at that, we went from 124 up to 240. All right, so over 120 points in 1 minute, and it looks like nothing. Now, in a normal market, that would have scared you. And that's the type of market we're in now, where a 120 point move looks tiny. So you've got to be aware of this coming into today. Size down. I say it all the time. All right, size down. One trade is not going to make your career, but one trade or one bad trading day can absolutely, if not end it, do major damage. It's not just the damage to your account, right? It's also the psychological damage. It's the PTSD that you're going to have following that coming back next week, unable to pull the trigger at the right place, starting to second guess yourself. All these things will start to appear. So size down, be careful, wait for the trade to come to you. If you're not comfortable in this market at all, that's absolutely fine. I just said to my team, we get these markets. It used to be every 7 to 10 years we'd get a market like this for, a few days or a week. It's starting to speed up. And my belief is that because market cycles are starting to go from 13 years to 7 years to like 5 years and shorter now, because our attention span is smaller and there's more people in the market. So please just be a little bit careful. As always, I'm going to ask you to go over your checklist. All right. Do you feel well, able, capable, mentally fresh, physically fresh to be able to trade? I would say I probably don't today. My next door neighbors decided they were going to have a party. My wife had to go and knock on their door at 3 a.m. and tell them to shut up. So I haven't had the best night's sleep. So it's also something I'm aware of in myself today. I've already flipped one micro contract across all my accounts, so that I've got that trading day in for payout, because I'm already in the headspace of there's a good chance I don't end up taking a trade. So make sure you're going through that checklist. Have you eaten enough, drunk enough, slept enough? All the usual stuff that we talk about. All right, enough nattering from me. Let's go through the technical analysis, shall we? Moving over into the high time frame chart, into a weekly chart. The first thing I want to talk about on this weekly is, I think we went over it last week, we definitely did in Discord, is the potential for a measured move. All right. when we were doing this last week, I said this will likely be a pullback for what? The second leg. Leg one, pullback leg two. This is a normal move in a market. The way we've done it, the aggressiveness is not necessarily normal, but it's a normal move. Why? This is froth. All right, I talked about this all of last year. These are selling opportunities. This is where smart money is trapping buyers to then roll over. All right, and the lower we go, the better price they get to come back up over the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So if we're going to think about a measured move, we're going to use a trend-based extension. All right, if we go from this pivot high to the low and back to the pullback, our 100% extension for a measured move would take us down to 17,285, which is just by chance by this pivot low and right into this. That's taken us back to April and August. All right, this was the JPY carry trade, right, when we had that big puke out, capitulation bottom, move back up. Lots of swing stops there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we head into that. Now, I'm not saying we head into that today. This can take a little while to take place, but there's a bit of confluence coming into these levels. All right, anything under that, we get into some major structure where Alex becomes very, very interested as a buyer long term. Why do I become interested as buyer long term? Because if we do a fib from pivot to pivot, we would then be in discount and we'd be back testing this range here. And I love anywhere in here for a long term buy, but that's a whole nother thing to go over. All right, so momentum definitely downside, and we're definitely gunning for those lows. Now, we have taken out a set of lows overnight. We had this blue box in yesterday, and we're saying if it drives down there, we'll be halt down and we're going to take them out. Well, we did it overnight. Moving to the daily, you can see it even more clearly. There we go, taking out this pivot here. So the next pivot is very, very close, 729, and then under that down to 360. Think about what we're doing overnight. Previous day close, big gap down, finding a bit of a bottom and a bit of short covering, driving back up. Where will be key right now? I'd say the back test of this level where we failed is going to be key. Sorry, folks. Back test into that level is going to be key. Back test into the level we broke down from is going to be key. How can we see that? Let's move down into the hourlies. Hourly chart right here. So momentum. Very, very strong, isn't it? Momentum in this hourly chart, very, very strong. Snap down, build liquidity, break down, build liquidity, break down. All right, same thing over and over again. What we're expecting, build liquidity, break down, at least to retest this. If buyers come back in, that's a chance to put in a double bottom, but normally we would expect break of structure and continuation until proves otherwise. So Location downside is not great based on the daily. We're extended from the Bollinger Band. We've taken out a major level of liquidity, but momentum is very, very strong. If we're going to drift higher, where can we drift? Well, we can see here, right, we get thin in structure here until we get back up to that overnight point of control. We have a back test level here, all right? So where did all these bulls get liquidated? Think about all the bulls overnight trying to hold us up. 450s, basically. 18,450s. If we zoom left, I might have to do this on a daily here because it's going to run out of... I might not even be able to do it, actually, because it's on the old contract. I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay. If we think about zooming left, this level here is important. I'd say 330, 350 to 400. 330, 350 to 400 becomes important. Just based on the daily. And if we get through that, 330, 340, 350, then this drift up to 475, 500 is possible. Now, what am I expecting here? What do I always look for? What would I love to see? 2 legs, right? 1, 2, sellers come back in, rotate back down, partial. If we get stuck, we get lucky. That's what I'd love to see. Love to see something like that. Makes my risk reward, if I'm thinking short, a lot better. Right now, I'm not thinking short at this position. They might want to protect this hourly level. Looking at the 5-minute, you can see what I'm talking about in more detail. All right, so here's our overnight demand after a sweep. You can see it's a bit of a capitulation bottom, bit of a long wick, and trading back upside now. What do we have here? Liquidity. Now, I don't love the longs. As you know, in these markets, I don't love the longs, but I think There is a chance today for a little bit of relief back up, because I just wonder if enough shorts have had enough. It really would decide if and when during the market. I really don't like the longs, but if we continue to hold this area here, basically 18,000, all right, if we continue to hold this area here, we will abuse this liquidity. If too many shorts got stuck under here and we continue to hold, there is a chance for a squeeze up. Remember, 18,340, basically VWAP and into here is possible. From that point on, I think all that, remember, if you're playing longs today, you're counter trend. So this is just like, is this a capitulation and a little bit of a squeeze up? If you're going to play that, you've got to know your stop's got to move up, 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 up. You've got to be protecting, because at any point they can go back into a dump. Any move up, then we're taking profits, and we're very, very lucky if we get all the way up here. Now, if we do something like this and we get stuck up here, what am I looking for? I'm always looking for failures for rotation back down. All right, so we're looking for moves up to rotate back down. I want to get the best price possible if I'm thinking about selling, ideally. Moving up into the lower time frame, you can see the same thing. All right, capitulation, a bit of a inverted head and shoulders building out, but very much like yesterday. I wouldn't mind seeing that. If you're thinking, what is he on about? When did we get that yesterday? Yesterday said focus on the shorts. Focus on the shorts. Where is yesterday? The swipe up, swipe down. Sorry, let me get... Here we go. So yesterday we took this short, and I said I'd be focused on the shorts and let it get stuck. So there's a grind and grind and grind, and it gets stuck at the congestion level, previous day high. We roll over, and then we get stuck at IB low, and done. All right, all these bulls who didn't understand this was counter trend, this is just a chance for you to lock in some profits. They decide that they're going to keep trying, and they're now cooked overnight. All right, so possibly the same kind of thing can happen. We're really going to have to see how this market goes. I've definitely got one eye on the VIX. All right, we're in major, major downside. I'd really love shorts up here or even higher. VIX, okay, VIX overnight ran all the way up to 45s. All right, it's currently come back down into its lower time frame algo, and it's finding a bid here at 35. It's still very bullish, this VIX, but if the VIX starts producing lower highs and lower lows while this market is able to hold 18,000, there is some relief in this. Now, you have to be careful, because this relief is 400 flipping points. All right, we're not talking about 40, 50 points. So if you get a bad location and you try and force yourself in short here and it squeezes fast, that is going to be very, very painful. Like I said, your position sizing has got to be very, very careful today. Let's have a look at the mag. All right, now you're going to understand why I don't pick bottoms in this market. Move to a 5-minute. This is Apple. What did we say yesterday? If it lets go 200, it's night-night. There's your 200, night-night. Good night, Apple. Got absolutely cooked overnight, hitting a low of 190. To make you understand that, you've got to think about who is in pain right now. Anyone who has bought Apple since May last year is now underwater. All right, so if they wake up and they're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? They're going to start selling. Does that happen? Yes. I have had friends message me who are holders of Apple saying they're going to start to sell, which is hilarious. They should have been selling. It's not hilarious, it's a bit mean. They should have been selling back end of last year into profit, not when it comes back. Microsoft, same story, but we talked about this yesterday. I said Microsoft showed a lot of strength yesterday, and look at this. It's finding a big old rally here today, but again, gapping down. You're playing Microsoft versus 367, really. If it starts reclaiming those levels and previous day low, Microsoft can go on a bit of a squeeze here. Amazon looks just like the market, gapping down, trying to find a bit of a bid. Google, same, gapping down, trying to find a bit of a bid. Meta gapping down, looks heavy. Looks very, very heavy, Meta, compared to the others. Nvidia gapping down, trying to find a bit of a bid. Sub 100 now. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. Long term, these are coming into some big investment opportunities, I would say that, but it's how much pain people can sit through. I would be thinking about starting to buy some of these soon. And Tesla gapping down, not really finding much of a bid. Trying. So you get the idea. Market in a bit of a free for all right now. All right, market in a bit of a free for all. This is starting to look very much like yesterday, isn't it? Drive, 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 roll, roll, roll. Very, very possible. So I'm going to be a bit cheeky. I'm going to wait here this morning. All right. I want to see how we act versus 1800. It's not that I really want the long, but if it's going to put in that squeeze, whether I take it or not is another thing. But I'm going to wait to see if we can get up here and then think about the short rotation back down. Other things to consider. Powell is talking today at 11:30. Do I want to be in the market when he's talking? No. I am not interested. Today for me needs to be a short day. I want to be out of my position, out of the market before he starts yapping. All right, we have already 1,000-point gap down, 1,000-point gap down. Major volatility. VIX up at 45. Do I need to be in a trade when he can say absolutely anything again and start moving the market? No. What are the other things you need to be aware of? Headline news. All right, expect headline news. Expect these other countries to start saying things about these tariffs, just like we had China saying last night that they're going to, put tariffs on the other way now. So expect Europe to start saying stuff. Expect Taiwan to say something. What's going to happen when Taiwan says, F you, good luck getting the chips? Apple prices go up because they can't get the chips. Tesla prices go up. Everyone, Nvidia goes up. Everyone's prices goes up. What does that mean? Price gets put on the consumer to pay more. Does the consumer have money to pay for that right now? No, they're in the most debt that they've ever been in. Credit card debt is at an all-time high in America. So you have to think about this long term. We're just going to take our time, be very, very picky. And if we get a trade set up, I will call it and I'll think about executing it just like yesterday. Otherwise, I'm quite happy sitting here and watching this market because I know there are much, much easier markets to come around the corner. Everyone else can get trapped, pay for the information, blow themselves up. That's absolutely fine by me. I'm quite happy sitting here on my hands, letting this market do what it wants, going into Monday next week or going into this weekend knowing that I've had a great week and I haven't done anything stupid on a Friday. And that's the most important thing right now. You should be in protection mode, be playing defense right now. This is not a market to be playing offense. The people who can play offense right now are the swing shorts who have been short for numerous days, numerous weeks. Getting into some good mornings in the market. Morning, Marek, Clint, Jake and Up One, Jeff, Miguel, Julian, Ryan, Ramus, Logan, Jesse, Coop, Leron, John, TR, Go for Hill, DK England, Trentry, Brandon, Kaladin, Thumper, Arturo, Peter, Brad, Andrew H, Paul, Julian, Mike, Pat, Earl Array, Mr. Slim, Mindful Matters, BH, Taylor, Michael Pope, Jeffrey, Jack, Tim J, Andrew G, Alan, Nick, Andrew. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, so far, had a good little drive up there this morning. Counter trend off maybe potentially a bit of a capitulation. I am looking at the volume at that low. It is fairly large, especially for pre-market. So one thing I haven't talked about, capitulation events can cause massive swipes back the other way. All right, so you need to be careful if you're going to think about getting involved near a low today. All right, capitulation events, if you go back, look at 08, look at even COVID more recently. Think about even those of you who haven't traded stuff like this before, but maybe you've watched the GME documentaries. All right, think about the times when GME was up on that giant short squeeze, and then they banned traders from being able to, I think it was buy any more on leverage on, I forget the broker, on Hood. All right, think about what happened the next day, 100-point drop down out of nowhere. All right, following that 100-point, rip straight back upside. Right, this is what happens when you get capitulation. Massive volatility, massive up, massive down, massive up, massive crash. Right, so just be careful. Blue collar, the price of SPX puts are insane, huge spread. Yeah, that will be the case, definitely. Okay, here's the open, folks. That was the other thing. In case you weren't here yesterday, you must watch the spread today. All right, don't be marketing in and out. You are asking for problems if you're going to market in and out in this market. All right, so again, my thought process is always leaning shorts. Leaning shorts, that's the pro trend right now. But does this need more relief before that? Does it need a bit of relief? Let's have a quick look at the mag here. Tesla, 3.38% down. Nvidia, 3% down. Meta, 5% down. Google, 1.3% down. Amazon, 6.37% down. Microsoft, 2% down. Apple, Almost 4% down already. All right, let this shake out. Let it do its thing. No need to force something at the open of this bell right now, is there? Just let it shake out and do its thing. Please, please, please. You should be in defense mode today. Be in defense mode today. There are a lot of bulls stuck in this market right now. All right, they will be coming to their desk in absolute panic mode. Remember, the higher we go, the more chance that they have of getting out. Some of these swing bulls break even, and that's where I'm interested in potentially taking short positions. Otherwise, there is chance for some squeeze relief here. Let's not be silly and force anything. All right, let's get this line in before I forget. Alex always forgets this, doesn't he? Let's get this in for New York Open. Can't wait till this prints automatically with the new indicator. There is my New York Open. Morning, Kevin. Good morning, everyone. All right. So again, this might look like nothing, but this is already big range, right? 139 all the way up to 255. This looks like a 5-10 point candle in the first 2 minutes, doesn't it? It's not. It's not. It's over 100 points. Be aware of that. You have to be aware of that. Your ATR is massive. Your volatility is massive. These candles look tiny, but they're 50 to 100 point candles. They look tiny because the range you are looking at to the left is huge. All right, this range is massive, so these look small. Be aware of that. You will get stuck if you're not aware of that. You'll size in, put your risk at the bottom of the candle thinking it's normal, and you'll suddenly realize that risk is 100 points. There you go. Yeah, Jake up 108 points in the first two M1 candles. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The range is massive. Absolutely massive. Spread doesn't look too bad. Every now and again, it's opening up to 3-4 points on the NQ. I'm just watching it, but most of the time, it's about a point and a half at the moment. It will start to move fast. Let's have a quick look at the book. Let's see who's on this book today. Some buyers down at 18,050, 18,100. Nothing big on the book. And some sellers up at 350 and 300. Honestly, the size on the book is non-existent right now. There's no players in this market right now. They're just letting this figure itself out. And we just wait now. Patiently, patiently, patiently wait for this market to start showing itself. I want to be very cautious today. I don't want to get stuck as a short near the lows, one. And big if, I'm going to think about playing that counter trend long today. This has got to seriously prove itself to me. Right, it's got to seriously show me, hey, sellers are a bit exhausted. We're going to go upside for a little bit of range. Otherwise, I'm not really interested in playing counter trend longs because, like yesterday, who's in pain right now? Bulls are in pain. They're in so much pain right now. And I'm also okay twiddling my thumbs, all right? I'm absolutely okay twiddling my thumbs today. You should be okay doing that as well. Do I have lots of confidence in this market right now? Not a whole lot of confidence in taking a trade in this market right now. Yesterday, far more confident because I knew we needed the next leg down. It felt very, very obvious that bulls were going to come in yesterday, try and guess that bottom, and we'd have a move down. Today is a bit different. We're into Friday following NFP after a capitulation event from China, after taking out some big weekly lows. It's a little bit different in terms of targets. I'll feel much better coming to this market probably Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. Monday, probably a bit of a shakeout. And we go from there. I'll be looking for a weekly model again next week. Anyone done the course? Look at the weekly model the last 2 weeks. Look how good the weekly model is the last 2 weeks. From Tuesday night, Wednesday open, look what we've done. Same exact thing the last 2 weeks. So either we get the same thing again, or I wouldn't mind it going the other way next week. I wouldn't mind the weekly model starting to build the other way around. Capitulation early, and then see if we can get a bit of a mean reversion backside of the week. Remember, market does not move straight down or straight up. This is like surfing a big wave. 100-foot wave in Portugal. 100 100 point candles. Same thing. Scary stuff. Yeah, Nasdaq Composite down 20% from record highs. Yeah. Normally, what's interesting, I think a lot of people yesterday were looking for that bounce because we were over 14% down, 12% on the S&Ps from highs, and like normally 08, 13, 2018, all these, when we get these capitulation events and bounces, that's where they happen. But you know, it's like I keep saying, this is a different market. This is not a flash crash in my mind. This has been building towards this for ages. I just think this is a catalyst which has caused this event. But it could have been any catalyst. Market was primed for a nasty, nasty pullback. I've been calling this since September last year. It's going to happen. It's frothy in the market. They drifted up from September to the end of the year to trap retail buying highs. It was needed. It was frothy. We went on some stupid AI run. And now we're having a bit of a reality check. Inflation was high, regardless of what CNBC and CNN told you. Inflation was very, very high. Debt was very, very high. Very hard for the consumer right now. And eventually it will start to show itself. This was just the news event that made it happen. It could have been anything. Anything could have caused this to happen. This wouldn't happen if we weren't frothy, right? If we were just at normal, reasonable levels, you wouldn't get moves like this. Okay, coming back down towards this blue box that I talked about then. Do they start holding and finding a bid around here? Let's see if we can clean this up a bit. Move this down to a 1 minute for a second. Do they start finding a bid around here, which is sort of where they tried to hold, right? Where they got, this was capitulation, this was turn back inside, this is your hold, this is your hold, this is, does it hold? Does it sweep come inside? If it fails against this, then they probably go back down to the lows. So we're coming into areas of interest, I'd say, right now. And the market will need to start making some decisions on what it wants to do for the day, probably fairly soon. Remember, looking to see how they act into sort of 18K, 1850 down to 18K. I know that's wide range, but fortunately, that's kind of the range that we're going to have to deal with at the moment. Can't be more specific than that. SPY underneath its VWAP right now. QQQ underneath its VWAP right now. Coming back into key areas. Remember, we're not just buying this on the way down. That is a psychopath move right now. VIX bidding up off its lower time frame algo, coming back on into 38.77. 38.77. All right. Not 18, 38. Very, very high on the VIX. Market continuing to sell here. Tesla 5.5%, Google 4.25%, Meta 4.33%. Sorry, Nvidia 4%, Meta 4.33%, Google 1.34%, relative strength there. Amazon 4.20%, Microsoft 2.25%, Apple 2.5%. You can see they came back in there. They're trying to absorb this level that we talked about. They are definitely having a look at it. It's definitely a big level here, sort of 1850 down to 18,000. Down 10% down from record highs. Yeah, like everything's getting hammered. Absolutely hammered. Dixie's found a little bit of a bid here this morning. I still think the Dixie's going to go sub 100. Been calling that since September as well. It's just too primed. There's too many stops there right now. So there is the bid back upside here to start. You can see them starting to attempt to come in here off that blue line that we talked about, blue level here. Still very, very bearish, but you can see it's a level that they're interested in protecting. If they start liquidating that and then producing lower highs, lower lows under it, there's a very good chance we go back to the overnight lows back here. Bring this up a bit. All right, so either we're going to get something like this or we're going to get stuck here and just rotate all the way down. Those are the moves right now. Again, I wouldn't want to be a buyer in this market unless it would absolutely prove itself to me. Lots of buyers down here on the tape starting to stack up. Can start to see them all the way down to 18,000. Not a big size though, but they are there. And just grab another tissue here. Coming into these levels, 1850 now, like we talked about. Lower highs and lower lows being made so far ever since this top. You can see this here. This is key. Either we get this or we get this and we go back for the high side. Those are the opportunities today, I would say. Shorts, higher time frame, remember, definitely in control. Break of this, we go capitulation, we go next leg down probably. Again, I'm quite happy. I know it might be boring, but I am quite happy today doing nothing. In terms of risk reward, getting short near the lows is very, very risky. We're very, very extended. We've had 2 giant moves down now in the last 2 days. I'm very, very aware of that. Whereas yesterday I was quite happy to look for the shorts and hammer in. Today I want to be a little bit more careful. Maybe overly cautious, but I'd rather err on the side of over caution today than get myself stuck. Has anyone worked out 2% price limit down? I've got 17,730. I haven't looked. We're only 3.44% down, so I'm not totally worried about getting to 5% and 7% right now. But I'm sure it will be printed if needed. I can have a look. It'll probably come up on the Nasdaq. So coming back down into that 18K that we talked about. Market bleeding. Tesla now over 6% down. Nvidia over 5% down. Meta 4.5%. Google 1.5%. Amazon just under 4%. Microsoft 2.25%. Apple 3.5%. Wrecked. Wrecked would be the word I would use for how these bulls feel this morning. Absolutely wrecked. So they're starting to look at that low that we talked about. Remember that 18,000 low. There is the squeeze, start of a squeeze. How did they react here into the 1850, 1860, 1880? Remember we talked about this. Your 18,000 low. Something like this might set up for a join long. You'd have to be so, I cannot say this. If you are thinking you want to do this today, please be careful. If you're going to take these longs, if, it's a big if, we haven't pivoted yet. If we start to pivot and do this, you must be proactive in taking profits and moving your stop up. Because the thing is, like we talked about yesterday, let's say it does this and it gets to here. If someone is stuck here and they go, see ya, they will do it. They will mark it in. They will get out. And that is a bank doing thousands and thousands and thousands of orders. And that will hurt very, very quick. So you will have to be moving stop up with the trade as it goes in your direction. For Pete's sake, I do not want to see anyone trying to catch it and trying to catch it and trying to catch it and trying to catch it, because you will get absolutely annihilated. If you have bad habits, this is the type of market which will teach you some nasty, nasty lessons. Yeah, exactly, Peter. I mean, I don't disagree with you, Peter, but I'm just setting everyone up for what can potentially play out. Again, I'm very much with you. I don't like picking bottoms in markets. I definitely don't like picking bottoms in markets where bulls are stuck. But some of you might be looking for that mean reversion trade. And what you don't want to do also is get short in the hole. We always talk about that. Today is more of a day where I'd be worried about getting short in the hole versus yesterday. Yesterday felt like a very, very obvious move. Actually, I wouldn't have been surprised if we got what we did overnight yesterday, that big move down. We were there. We were positioned for it in case it went. You can even see I was telling, let's have a look. I will show you. I was telling my team before that move yesterday what I would be looking for right here. All right. So I was expecting from the lower day, bid back into the IB low, and then a rotation lower. All right, it's exactly what we got. All right, you can see, again, they're trying to protect 18,000. You can see it. It's starting to happen, isn't it? 18,000, we're protecting it. This is a big level. Remember, this is where buyers came in earlier. They're trying to protect it. If they do, they're going to try and run all the way back up here. Hasn't shifted yet, but that's what you need to be careful of. If you've been thinking short side, this is the area where if they're going to protect it, you can get one of those squeezes. And like we talked about, the squeezes in this market can be 100-200 points in seconds and minutes because of the range in the market. Watching QQQ and watching the VIX. VIX finding potentially the start of a lower high here is what you would have to be careful of the VIX. If the VIX starts producing a lower high and the market starts to put in a higher low and we start to pivot, that's where I would be very, very careful, and you might have squeeze potential. Yeah, 1,000 lot on the book there at 825. I see him. So squeeze potential. You have to be careful in this market. If it's going to do a squeeze, it can be an absolute face ripper very, very, very quickly. It's trying. It's trying. Held 18,000. We're already 120 points up in the last 3 minutes off that hold of 18,000. This kind of blue box after sweeping. This can go right back up. If it reclaims New York level, it's going to look for a squeeze to take everyone out who was short here. All right. If it gets reclaiming here, it's going to look to do this move like I talked about. Oh, not that last bit. I don't know what that is. Let's get rid of that. Starting to play out then, isn't it? So if you were long, you're looking for a dive back in to hold and take these guys out, and then your runners for anything above is an absolute bonus. And if it really gets going, you're looking for a back test of here. I think we said 340s on the higher time frame and this. These will be runners, right? You would have to be low risk long, stop in the money, let this move up, stop in the money, let it break out, stop in the money, and then just hold on. Hold on to your boots and see what happens. Is it something I'm personally looking for? Not particularly. But it's there. I'm telling you the trade setup as they plan out. Whether you want to take them or not, you need to understand your appetite for risk. But I do think that is very much a possibility today. Can see VIX here definitely starting to look like a lower high. If VIX starts breaking down underneath 36 now, that would be the lower high, lower low confirmation, and this market might start squeezing upside even more. All right, so I've given you everything there. I told you the key levels. We talked about the key levels. Here's New York. So if you are thinking of, and maybe you took that long, I don't know. Maybe some of you took like a trend line breakout. I don't know, but pay yourself some. Otherwise, you're looking for a hold inside for a continuation higher. If you're thinking about that counter trend squeeze long today, that's what you're looking for. My risk appetite isn't really there, but that is the trade that I'm seeing. So I'm telling you what's setting up as I see it. Yeah, I think it's like if you're longs today, Julian, if you were looking either way, whatever way you're looking today, having tighter stops, as in not for your original entry, but once it moves in your direction, it's good to move that stop in. It's good to move that stop into the money because you'd be very, very upset today, especially any of you who are playing like things with trailing drawdown. You want to be very, very careful. If you get a swipe higher of 100 points, and you haven't moved your stop into the money to protect it, and it comes all the way back down, and you take a 130-point loss effectively, you'll be very, very upset. That's why it's good to size down, especially if you're playing trailing drawdown accounts. All right, this will need to hold a pivot down here if it's to have any chance of going back upside. Failure to do that, any lower low here, big, big problems, and we go back towards the lows, I would expect. So you would want this to protect the low it just put in if you're thinking bullish. Again, very early, flow zones have not flipped. This is beyond my risk appetite. I've made that very, very clear. I think there's a chance for this to squeeze higher. It is beyond my risk appetite to look for. QQQ VWAP here, trying to reclaim VWAP. It's looking good here for you. If you are bullish, this is the type of thing you'd want to see. Type of thing you want to see. Some sort of protection in here. You'd want to see a reaction off this and a drive higher, and then a series of higher highs and higher lows. Looking very, very good so far. So if this is your risk appetite, by all means, take it. By all means. Just being honest with you. You know how I like to trade. I like pro trend. I like obvious trades. I like layup trades. I like one side being stuck. It's possible that shorts are a little bit stuck here, which is why I was talking about this move. And already this move here, if you've just taken it, that's 60 points. That return back inside, this is 60 points off this. Boom. That's a lot of money already. Got 9 minutes left until the top of the hour. This is current point of control on the day as well, right? We're into big volume. Unsurprising, is it? When you look left, lots of volume here. I've been here many, many, many times. Right at the New York Open. Market will be forced to make decisions at some point. Might do, it's probably flat. Where's the New York Open? Let's do an anchor just in case it comes in useful later. There's your anchor. There's your New York anchor. You can use that as a little bit of a guide. It's trying to build out that sort of flag to move higher right now. Failure to do that, bulls will get trapped and we go back down. But so far, you look okay. Lower time frame. Only on the lower time frame. You don't look good on anything else. It's a very high risk play this for a squeeze, but it's there. I would say that 150 clearly key. They keep selling into that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes there. Every push they're selling into that 150s. SPY, that same level on SPY is the VWAP. All right, SPY stuck at VWAP, 522.66. That's your level on the SPY. QQQ is on its VWAP, SPY under its VWAP. Keep selling into the VWAP. If they reclaim the VWAP on the SPY and the VIX makes a lower low here, which is starting to look potentially more possible to do, then I think you get squeeze relief. Remember, you got that new hourly bar coming in 7 minutes as well. New hourly bar in 7 minutes. So it's trying again. 150s, 150s, 150s. SPY VWAP. Everything very, very tight. It wants to go. The question is, can it get going? There's the go. So if you're in this, you look good. I've put a little piece on here just in case this is going to go all the way up for me. There we go. Moving stop well into the money. Trailing this up straight away because we don't know if higher time frame sellers want to come and mark it out here and absolutely slam faces. So there we go. Nice little trade there upside. So I did join that and made 50 points straight away on my first contract there. And let's see if we can trade higher here. Stops well into the money here, folks. Not messing around with this. Next level will be 250. If we get through 200, we go straight to 249.25. We pop that stop, we get to 275. We pop that, we trade VWAP. Happens very quick, you know, very, very quick. So we're proactive today. Out the money here. So runner out. If they rebuild, I can always re-add in. So here is your pivot. This is what we were talking about. This is why we're proactive on the move up, because we're saying at any point, higher time frame sellers can come back in. Lock some money in there. 50-point trade in what, like 10 seconds or something? It's just insane. Maybe not even that long. That was very clean and terrifying. Yeah, but that's the market. Like I said, it's often beyond my risk appetite. But once I saw ES get through VWAP and VIX trade back towards the lows, I felt good that we at least got the swipe up. And then I'm out. Job done, right? 50-point trade. I think there's some traders on YouTube who trade for 5 and 10 points and have 4,000 people tuning into them every day. I just gave you 50 points in 10 seconds. And then we're out. Like we said, we move our stop tight today. We don't mess around adding back into stuff like this, right? It can prove itself. If it wants to reprove, fine. If this is like a sweep to go higher, that's fine. If they want to hold this and go higher, that's fine. We can always think about joining later. I'm not bidding and hoping. All right, I'm not starting my bid here and being like, oh, add one here and add one here and add one here, because down here, you have just lost all your accounts. All right, so now you can see why counter trend, very, very, very high risk. This is why we sell on the pops and we move stops in the money. Arturo, W on that. I'm done for the day. I love it. Take care, room. Have a great weekend, mate. Hey, 50 points is nothing to, you know, turn your nose up at. All right? It's nothing to turn your nose up at, team. It's decent money. It looks tiny because of the huge range in this market. It's sat flat now. We got 4 minutes until we get the new hourly bar. I'm just flat in this now. So that's the way that I like to trade. I position, I take some money off. If it kept going there and wanted to go 300-400 points, we would have had a banger of a day. Otherwise, we lock some in and we just sit and wait for the next setup. Still trying to protect in front of 1850 to 18,000. It's a big, big level. We'll have to be aware looking left. One way or another, this liquidity gets used. One way or another. Stuck in the New York view up right now. SPY is trying to build here. These are trying to build for upside moves here. If too many shorts get stuck here, there is a nasty, nasty little relief candle potential. And I say little, 100, 200 point candle can go straight up. And it will probably look small. Again, I've had one attempt sitting out of this right now. Let it shake out. New hourly bar coming. Let's think about what these hourly bars look like. We've had the last 2 hours printed upside. This current candle took the last high, got stuck there on volume, and is now sitting on the shelf. All right, how we act in these next candles is key. All right, if it wants to hold this, there is relief potential up here and up here. We can think about filling some of this gap. If it gets stuck under here, very dangerous. This hourly here is technically, if it gets up here, is technically an engulfer. Even though it's printing red, it swept the low, and if it can get up above the high, it's technically very, very bullish. So here we go. It's having another attempt here, isn't it? It's having an attempt at that 200. It's a big level. You can see pops into 200. They're trying to hold SPY through now that level that we just talked about, through the VWAP, and relief possible upside here towards 250s. So if you are in this, maybe you get relief through 200 up to 250s, through that 275s, through that you're looking at VWAP basically 300. But just remember there's a new hourly bar coming here in 90 seconds. Just three contracts TR. Micros, not minis. Because if my runners went for me and we got up towards 500 today, I wouldn't have needed much size. That would have given me, what, like 250 points, 300 points. Not trading minis today. No need. There you go. Here's the squeeze relief then. 50 is the next stop. 1 minute left until the new hourly bar. 50 is the next stop. Remember, you got some stops up there. You can see them right here, these wicks up here. If they get through that and get through 72s, there's squeeze relief up towards VWAP. If we get through that, we have the ability to reprice some of this move. That's what I'd be very, very careful for. That's what I'd be looking for if it wanted to set up. So far, it's looking pretty good. Spider's driving this. We're about to make a lower low here on the VIX on a 5 minute. All right, so we're about to set that lower low. If this breaks down on the 5 minute on the VIX, you've got a lower high, lower low being set. This is what I was talking about, why I'm watching the VIX today. I know it's scary thinking about longs today. I know. And I said, like, I'd be very cautious doing it. But these moves here, higher probability because shorts get a little bit stuck chasing after 2 days of moves down. Here's your new hourly bar. So let's see how this hourly bar closes. Or the last one closes. Closed inside. Not ideal. Closing inside. Okay, Crawford. Well, that's good to know. Well, at least you know you just trade them separately. Pulling back to that structure that we just had a little squeeze out from. Pulling back towards flow zones here. New hourly bar here, coming back towards point of control. Google now gone green on the day. Very impressive. Microsoft now gone green on the day. Market trying to claw some of it back, closing their gaps. Let's see if they find sellers here after closing the gaps on some of these tech names or not. The market trying to find some relief. It's definitely trying to find a bit of relief here this morning. Remember, these are all counter trend. At some point, we expect higher time frame sellers to come back into the market. It's just a question of when. It might not be today at all. It doesn't have to be today. SPY back under its VWAP right now. VIX finding a bid on that double bottom. If they don't sell VIX here soon and really get a flush on that lower low, then I think longs get off the table. If VIX starts to build liquidity here. Again, I'm one and done. I've had that shot at it. I'm just waiting now. Your main job today is not to make money, remember? You should be playing defense. VIX finding a bid up to 37s. Important times here in the market. VIX is going to have to make a decision. QQQ is going to have to make a decision on VWAP. Important times. Do they want to have more relief on Microsoft and Google and these tech names or not? So finding a bid there on the VWAP so far. I'll feel better about more of a squeeze if the VIX starts letting go. That's what I'm waiting for right now. If it's not going to let go, then I don't think there's any squeeze potential here in the market. And you'd have to see the VIX let go. When I say let go, I'm talking about that double bottom. 35, sub 36 really, 35.90s. If it starts puking under that, there's more squeeze relief in the market. If it doesn't want to do that, then I don't think you're going to get any relief in the market. We can just chop and chop and chop and chop and get one side stuck. And once one side stuck, you get the next move. So far, SPY is back underboards, underneath VWAP. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, Julian, I will not be here for that. Not interested in trading past or into 11:30. I have zero interest in trading any news event today. No way. Think about how much we've moved on a daily candle and a weekly candle. There's absolutely no way I'm sitting around to see what Powell says. I think you just get, no matter what he says, you probably get violence. So Q's trying to hold VWAP on the ETF. They tap VWAP. They're trying to find a bid there. It's trying to build. Again, no failure here on the VIX yet. Just watching the market. No position here. Flow zones now have gone flat. We had one attempt at that long. Maybe some of you took a second attempt. I've had one attempt at the long, made some money. That's enough for me right now. Now I'm just going to sit this out. These are sensitive levels. I'm going to wait for this to be clean and obvious. If nothing sets up for me that's clean and obvious, there is no trade for me. It's really that simple. I'm a sniper in this market. It either lets me take my shot, shoot to kill, or I'm taking nothing. I'm not walking into a room and spraying a gun around. See that higher time frame that you're looking at, watching that hourly. Very, very key. We're into a new hourly bar here. Remember, 5-minute bar about to close in 4 seconds. I'm watching this hourly bar. We're right at point of control from overnight right now. Can they get going? Are they interested in getting going at all? Oy. Sorry to hear that, Ryan. Yeah, if you're having tech issues, definitely get off. Can't be competing when Wi-Fi goes down. It's impossible. When you can, try and be in a plugged-in environment. Always dangerous when you've got Wi-Fi. If you can be plugged in, it will also speed up your execution significantly. So Spider's comfortably underneath their VWAP right now. They keep trading into it and rejecting it. Looking weak here on the SPY. Relative weakness there, trying to drag us down. I'm not considering shorts here in the market right now. It will really need to prove to me today. What I'm scared about is getting stuck. If we start really showing weakness underneath 18,000 and then we keep backtesting and backtesting, there's more and more sellers building up on the tape than maybe. Morning Sloth. Crawford, I'm up 600. I've turned my charts off. Not tempted to take another trade. Watch stream for educational purposes for the rest of the morning. Thank you for being a great teacher. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Good work making some money. Good work being disciplined. Reward yourself for good process more than the money, remember. So pretty choppy here really to start the day. 240 point range of chop here. You can see it looking at the M15 candles. They're all trading inside themselves since the open. If we move this to an M15, all you have got here since the open, this is your range. Nothing outside of the range. We are chopping. This is potential area where shorts can get stuck. If we get under here, you might get expansion. And this is potential squeeze play up here. Other than that, I'm not really interested. Still multi-time frames, remember, down. Look at the M15, M10, M5, all bearish. As you get into the lower time frames, they start to flatten out. Back into these key levels. SPY and ES look very weak. So Microsoft and Google closed the gap and then found sellers. Closed the gap and then found sellers. This can start getting heavy here if it really wants to. They've trapped enough buyers looking for that move we were looking for. And if those buyers just keep adding down here, they can use them for liquidity to go lower. So I said today, very careful. If you're going to be a buyer, very careful with your stops. Liquidity on the book here, 18,025 and 18,000, and under that, 17,960. Not big. It is not big size on the book. When I'm saying liquidity, it's 20 to 50 lots. Really small size today on the book. Like I said, I don't think it's an area you would want to be a new money short, is it? If you think about where, smart money got short, maybe up here, maybe up here, maybe up here, maybe they took the breakdown overnight. Probably don't want to add new money shorts here. If your average is up here, you don't want to add new money short down here. And if you're trying to buy it, unless you're a short-term buyer like we were, looking for just a little bit of a squeeze, there's no real reason to come and buy this market up right now. There's no positive sentiment. There's no good news. No reason to buy the market up. Every move higher, really, in the last two sessions, has not really been buyers, not genuine smart money buyers. The moves higher have just been shorts getting stuck. In the sell from the bear flag. Nice, Peter. It's a bit too risky for me here, but I can see where you're in on this sell. I'm just concerned about this area. concerned about this at the moment. The ES approaching its current low of day in the New York session. Watching the VIX, watching everything right now. H1 may be building out for lower prices here, but it's just so risky. I'm looking at the book. I'm looking at where the liquidity built. We get into thick zone around here. Underneath 18,000, it gets a lot thinner. Underneath 18,000, we get a lot thinner in volume. On this capitulation wick, we get a lot thinner. So if they don't protect this, we can drift down into here more, and then I feel a bit better about that level. But like I said, I'm so risk off today. It's insane. I'm very, very, very careful, even more than normal. Friday, always risky on a Friday anyway. NFP Friday, extra risk. Jerome Powell talking, extra risk. Capitulation event, extra risk. Liquidation, 2-day liquidation event, extra risk. Headline news, extra risk. It's just everything that makes me go, oh, don't really want to trade this on a Friday. Don't really want to get something wrong on a Friday and go into my weekend, my head in my hands, crying all weekend. You would expect them now to run these lows, though. There you go. So here's your 18,000. And if they stay heavy here, we're into that thin territory I just talked about on the H1. We stay heavy here, there is a chance to move back towards the overnight lows. ES is already very much in a hurry to do it right now. Very much like yesterday, we did talk about this before the market. Very, very possible they run it up and start doing this move here. We can always join later. You're in this short, looks very good since that sell signal. I'd say just be careful into here. It's interesting that VIX isn't really getting going here. It's just in a range here on the VIX. Nice, John. Great work, team. Watch the back test here. If the back test of 18,000 stays heavy, you might get a bigger wash, right? So if they back test up into here, right now we've broken down. If they back test up back into here and they found sellers, then I think you look really, really good for this move. If they start reclaiming those levels, these 18,000, 1850, be very, very careful. But so far, you look pretty good. My VIX is on my screen down here. I can't keep flicking over BE. Just put it up on your own screen. There's only so much I can give you all the time. VIX trading into 38. You'd be watching a break on the VIX of really a 40, 39.95. That's its pivot. Through that, it can go back to high of day. And that's the one thing that would have me slightly concerned right now on the VIX, is that we're not trading through that level for that breakdown in the market. And that would have me slightly concerned. Remember the ETFs coming into big levels where they found bids this morning. These are higher time frame levels. Where we found bids this morning on the ETFs are high time frame levels of liquidity. VIX right now stuck at 38. It's got to get through, get through 40 really if it can get going. If you want weakness in the market, you want to see the VIX trade through 40. We're stuck at 38 at the moment. So far, back testing 18,000, staying heavy there. As long as you stay heavy versus 18,000, there's a chance for lower prices. As long as you stay heavy versus that 18,000, definitely chances of lower prices for you. Bye, darling. Looking good here. This bear flag looking good here. You just back tested 18,000, stayed heavy. This is what we talked about. Where's your 18,000? Somewhere here. All this, remember, you're extended from flow zones. Be very, very careful. I'm watching the VIX. VIX now starting to build. 38.26s. You just want to see the VIX start flying here. If the VIX starts flying here, I think you get this move down that you're looking for. Those of you in short. Into here, this would be the next stop I'll be looking for. A trade into 17,926s and then through that into these overnight lows. Remember, we're very, very thin down here. We talked about it on the volume profile. Very, very thin. Looking good here, folks. ES gunning for those low days. You look fantastic here. Those who took this short versus 18,000 look really, really good. You want to see just VIX start to break out here. Very much this pattern looks just like yesterday. Same thing. H1, build up, build up, build up, puke. Lower time frame starts to roll. It won't come without swipes, right? It will not come without swipes. There'll be swipes backwards and forwards. But even this move here, even if you got this 86s, that's it. Again, it's another 40, 50 points. It's crazy. Even taking that breakdown of that flag extended offered you 40, 50 points. Just be careful here. VIX keeps getting stuck here at 38. This is the one thing that I'm slightly concerned about for the shorts. If VIX keeps getting stuck here, I'll show you what I mean, because one of you did ask. Where are you? All right, you want to see VIX break out of here. You're thinking short, you want to see VIX squeeze through this and go upside. This is its range right now. You do not want to see it keep getting stuck here. You want to see it trade through it and build to go higher if you're thinking short. When we were thinking about the longs, I was saying if VIX dunks under here, then I feel better about that long. Right now, we're just in a range here on the VIX. That's the one thing that would have me concerned looking at the continuation short. Keeps doing this, doesn't it? There we go. Peter all out now, nice. Kaladin made money on that flag, nice. Yeah, 18,000 over under key, definitely key. We talked about it this morning. If they could hold that, dips into it, possibly for that move higher. It tried, came back, failed under. If it gets stuck here, there's possible for this move here. If it reclaims, it's possible for this move here. This is a big level. You can see it's a massive, massive level. Support, support, support. Resistance, support, support, potential resistance. It's a big level. They're trading it over under. We call it an over under level. It gives sentiment to the market. Over it, potential squeeze. Under it, potential failure. Hey, John Dennis, thank you so much. Thank you so, so much, my friend. Look at that. John Dennis, paying for my coffee today. I appreciate it. I appreciate a huge amount. Always nice to feel supported on stream. That'll go into the coffee fund today. I might even treat myself to a juice. Maybe I'll go to Air One and spend it all on some tap water from Air One. Half a taco in Cali. Yeah, exactly. It would buy me the cup without the juice in from Air One. No, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. So back testing this key level then. This blue box, does it become red, basically? These flow zones, do they get sticky here? Again, VIX The VIX is the one problem. So 1850 coming up here. Marek, thank you very much. Look at all you lot. So kind. Now I can fill that cup up. Thank you very much, team. All right, so coming back upside here. Again, the VIX getting stuck here at 38 like we talked about. We're using that sort of 18,000, 1850 over under here. Yeah, trying to take this market back above it right now. Absolutely key levels. Yeah, full taco now. Microsoft just gone green on the day. Very, very impressive. We talked about that pre-market. Out of all of them, it looked pretty strong. We talked about it yesterday. It had relative strength yesterday. The first name that I'd think about buying if this market puts in a capitulation bottom right now is probably Microsoft. It's showing me it's got relative strength. The last name I'm interested in buying right now would be Tesla, Nvidia. Those are getting hammered. All right, but ones that are holding up when we have big bleed outs and you have a stock which is not down as much or is green, those are the stocks that catch my interest. It's gone straight onto my wish list, that Microsoft on Amazon, straight on my wish list. That's something I think about investing in, swing long. All right, we're still building out lower highs, lower lows here across the market, but we're at that key level. So far, protecting the overnight low. Book's still very, very thin. Very, very patient here. Some of you got a very nice short there. Congratulations. Those of you got a short actually got paid really well there. It's about 200 points. Crazy. Do not need size in this market. It's still lower highs, lower lows. This is your over-under. Right? This was lower high. This can be lower high, lower low under here. If we get that, you move to here. They get back above here. This is where shorts down here get stuck. All right, but so far, momentum downside, pro trend downside. So still getting stuck in that blue box. We can make this red for now. All right, so it was blue when we were here. It goes red now. Big over under level. Back to 18,000. These are huge, huge levels here. Once this makes its decision, feel more confident about joining in. I really want to see the VIX, though, do something. It's going to help. It's back at 38s. If it can start exploding on the VIX to the upside, then I think you look really good for that low of day run. If it keeps getting stuck here and fails to break out and trades in range, it's going to make it tricky. If it breaks beneath 36 and stays heavy, then I think you get more squeeze relief. I know we're being more patient here probably than normal here this morning, team. I know I'm probably calling less trades, but again, my priority today is risk off. I had a really good day yesterday. I had a really good week yesterday. We are down absolutely massive on the week and on the month, and I don't want to be stuck on a Friday. Here goes the VIX then. It's going to try. It's trying to build up some momentum to come back towards 40 right now. Yes, right into where it found a bid this morning. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Survival mode. That's exactly it. Defense. I'm playing defense today. Until it's clear and obvious. Yesterday, I was a bit more attacking minded for the short side, definitely. Initial balance about to be set here, folks, in 5 minutes or 4 and a bit minutes. What's everyone's plans this weekend? Anyone doing anything fun? F1 again this weekend. Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull. I'm quite excited to see that. I don't even like Red Bull, but I do like Yuki. Excited to see that. Yeah, 9:30 to 10:30 Trentry. So it will be set here in the next 4 minutes. We'll have the extremes, the IB high and the IB low will be set in the next 4 minutes. VIX now starting to get going. It's starting to look more willing to try and build. It's testing the top side of that range that we've put in the New York Open. Isle of Skye. Oh, very nice, Peter. Very nice. It's still heavy under 18,000. It's still using 18,000, 1850 as the over-under right now. We're under it. All the time we're under it, there is a chance for that move back down towards the overnight lows. Especially if the VIX breaks out of 40 here, there is a chance for that move. I watched a video of yours yesterday referring to IB. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube and there's lots in the course. So do bulls get stuck here trying to catch it? Do they liquidate these bulls, go back for the lows? ES looking much more likely to do it. Very close to that positioning on the ES if they want to liquidate overnight lows. VIX now building up 39.20. Can it get through 40? Swipe through 40, go straight up to 45, then you get an absolute meltdown in the market? Or does it get stuck at 40, top side of the range? Remember, this is where we found buyers earlier in the market on the ES. This is where these buyers came in. ES very weak. ES is going to gun for those lows by the looks of it. Here goes VIX now. 39.60s, getting very, very close to that level that we talked about, the 40s. Market's still heavy. Tesla, 8.75% down. Nvidia, 6.75% down. Meta, 4.5% down. Here's your internal low sweep. Google, 1% down. Amazon, 2% down. Microsoft, 0.5% down. Apple, 3.85% down. Market's still very, very heavy here. Every test to go red to green on those names got sold into. They closed the gap, got sold into. Yes, getting very close to those overnight lows now. Initial balance going to be set here in 1 minute. Very, very close to those overnight lows now. Yes, almost there. We're going to come right into them right before the initial balance here by the looks of it. VIX breaking 40. There you go. 40.25s now. VIX clean breakout. So can the VIX get continuation higher here? Here's your initial balance now set. ES coming into those lows. Here's your IB. Got to think about, do they protect these? Do we wash lower? What are they going to do? All these questions you should have right now. It's a big squeeze higher on that IB being set. It's a nasty move very, very quickly. 60, 70 points. In towards 900. Yes, right at that low of day or overnight low. No one swept the overnight low yet. So it's potential low hanging fruit if you're still in this short. Like I said, I'd be very, very cautious in this market right now. I want to see if VIX comes back and holds 40, basically. That's what I would want to see. Can the VIX come back and hold 40s? Fear and greed at 4. I think that's the lowest I've ever seen. I know yesterday it was at 9s. 4. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's crazy, isn't it? So IB low here. They're going to break down here. VIX found a bid that we talked about. It's very, very tight here. These are decision times on the ES. If ES is going to gun for those lows or not. These are decision times. Remember, if they protect the IB, you got to be careful. IB rules now do apply. From a technical standpoint, IB rules now do apply. No, this is where buyers came in overnight, but you sort of expect them to sweep the lows, at least on the ES. NQ's a bit further away right now to do that move, but you sort of expect them to do that. It's just, does it need more relief before it goes back down for that? Protecting initial balance for now, protecting 900 for now. Not much on the takedown here. There's a little bit, but there's not a lot. VIX back testing 40. Does it find a bid at 40 here on the VIX? If it finds a bid here at 40, it wants to drive higher, then I feel very confident we go for overnight lows. So there's a break of the IB, still into 900, still protecting 900. Still interested to see if VIX finds a bid here or not. SPY now taking pre-market lows. ES about to take overnight lows, now taken. So these are fresh lows of year on ES. Now you're looking to see if they turn this back inside with a failed auction or if they're going to stay heavy for an auction, because ES has completed its main job of taking the liquidity. The low-hanging fruit has now gone on the ES, remember. Anything beyond this would be an auction lower. That's why you can see a reaction instantly. Short started covering as soon as we tapped that overnight low. There is a buyer now come on the book, 17,600, 300 points lower. Just saying. Just come on the book now. The 400 lot down there. It's a lot lower. I kind of feel like they've got to do a bigger break here if they're going to break down. VIX found that bid we talked about at 40. It's driving upside now. They let this go, it can be real nasty real quick. Take care, Julian. Remember, we're not down here yet. ES is down here currently. ES is down here currently. Can the VIX keep bidding upside through 40, 50s now and keep going all the way to 45s? Does the NQ start dropping? ES back at its overnight low here. Just tapping to overnight low. There's not been like a huge swipe through it yet. It's like just tap, 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 tap. So either they protect it or you get like a nasty swipe through. There's the swipe through and trade back upside. See if they protect the initial balance now or not. Remember, you've got auction, failed auction. All these theories are still at play here today. Everything's still at play here today. NQ still has the chance to go for overnight lows if it wants to. All right, if it wants to move for overnight lows, NQ still has the chance to do that. Starting to see that bleed now in the market. So if you took that IB play, you look good. You should be locking some in here because ES has taken low-hanging fruit. VIX is now starting to get going. This gives me more confidence in the market. Look at the VIX. Way, way better now. Way better than when we were in range. So where can spiders trade down to? Potentially 508 on the SPY. We're going to go risk off today. RTY now 5.72% down, folks. Just be careful as we start to get into these big numbers where we start getting a little bit closer to halt down events. QQQ coming into its overnight low. NQ coming into its overnight low. 821 will be the new liquidation. Anyone who is bullish from 821 and above will be out the money at that point. So all the internal bulls will be out the money at that point. We had one attempt at the long today. Once that failed, once we started failing 1850, we were just thinking about short continuation right now. Yeah, Tesla will be SSR soon. Definitely. This is what I was talking about. I would love to see this. There's a big part of me that wants the whole market halt down, everything SSR, because next week, if we're going to look for a mean reversion long, that makes it much easier to take. If we've got all these guys SSR, it makes it much easier. Here comes the back test of initial balance here. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Govindi, good work. Nice work, team. All right, back to your IB. Here's your IB test. If they don't stay heavy through this, you get a failed auction. You have got divergence in that NQ has still not taken its overnight low. ES has taken the overnight low. You do have divergence in the tape here because of that. Just be aware of that. All right, please be aware of that. If you are looking at this, you have divergence in the tape. Low hanging fruit for NQ, if they're not going to leave the divergence, will be to 820. Again, ES has taken the low hanging fruit. So if you are trading that NQ, you should have taken some profits. If ES stays heavy here through at the initial balance and they start selling it, then obviously I feel better about NQ making a new low. If ES starts reclaiming it, then we potentially have that failed auction and a bit of a trade back upside. Where's my New York view up gone? Is it on the other chart probably? There we go. Still heavy so far versus IB. No acceptance above IB on anything yet. Here's another test of it. 900 is basically your IB. That's just sort of over under here. If they get acceptance above that into 17,950, through that they can go back for that 1800, 1850 test that we talked about as the over under. These are big levels, folks. All right, don't kick yourself if you're not trading this today. Like I said, I'm very risk adverse today. Very risk adverse. I think there are much easier markets to come. Don't love shorting lows. I know yesterday I shorted lows. Today I'm also willing to do it if there's capitulation. It's not a normal market. I would never normally say to do that. I'm also very aware of squeeze potential. If too many people are looking for the same thing, we get squeeze potential. Here is the breakdown yet again. They're looking for that overnight low here. Rejecting initial balance again. Here's the breakdown versus IB. Can we get continuation? Lovely. In this right now versus IB. Lovely. Break lows. I'm moving my stop well in the money because I'm not willing to give anything back yet. Can we get through 1820? I want to see breaker structure here. Stops nice and close because I don't want to get my face whipped off. That's already a 50-point trade again. Any reclaim of 80s, I'm out. I want it to reclaim 80s here. Can fill up the 80s, but any reclaim of 880, I'm out of this. Looking for that continuation lower so far. Looking for that move into 820 and then a liquidation underneath. I will be taking some profits at 820, all right? 100 lot down there in front of it at 825. Just be aware of that. 100 lot at 825. I'm looking for him to get liquidated. Playing the initial balance extension here for the low-hanging fruit. Already locked some in. Playing versus 1880. My entry is way, way higher, but I'm not willing. If this taps me out, I'm out here. Can always re-enter. Again, stopping the money. I'm being very proactive today. Look at the ES. Being very proactive. Not going to give this a chance, because if this breaks the IB and it goes 100, 200 points and skips on me, I'd be really, really upset. Can always re-enter. Can always re-enter. It's the thing, when people get so worried about stopping out, you can always get back in the trade, all right? Futures are so cheap. It's going to cost you anywhere from 50 cents to $5 for a round trip. Don't be stingy. Just be willing to get out and get back in. Cost of futures is not going to cost you a lot. It's not like back in the day when I was trading shorts. I wrote a piece on this back in the day. I was trading small caps for shorts, and the borrow costs got massive. And I had this theory that if you were paying huge, huge borrow costs, you felt like you had to force your way in and out of trades because your expense was already big. You don't have that with futures. Your cost is tiny. Take the stop in the money. It's fine. Nice, Jeff. Took it with me. Lovely. Yeah, so far playing out. It's just a little bit high risk here. At my daily goal for the day. Hey, Cladden, just stop trading altogether. Log out of your accounts. Sit here and learn if you want. If you made your daily goal on a Friday in a market like this, high five. Remember, our job today, defense. Our job is not attack. Our job today is defense. This is so much like yesterday. We went over this pre-market. This is so much like yesterday. So what can we get now? Ideally, something like this or something like this. Very much like yesterday. Let's have a look at yesterday. We've got to go so far up. Where was yesterday's price action? So much like yesterday. You can see this level that we talked about pre-market, 1800, 850 came in clutch. Bid off, bid off, bid off, sell under, over under levels. Those of you doing the course, it would have been blue here, red here, blue here, blue here, blue here, red here. You can see how they use it. They test it backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. So if we're going to get continuation, you're looking for this trade. All right, and partial off here. Anything up here, I'm risk off. I would not be trading up above here right now because the chances of it coming and back testing this block here become high. Reclaiming that, definitely squeeze potential. If too many shorts get stuck down here and they reclaim this block here and they reclaim 1800, 1850, I'd be no more shorts for the day. I won't be taking any more longs for the day, by the way. For me, I've waited. I've had one attempt and we're in those shorts to move lower. I've got caught monologuing, haven't I? Here we go. Low-hanging fruit about to be taken here, folks. 100 lot on the bid here, 825. Your low of day is into 820. Once we get through him, we're going to liquidate him and snap it. Be careful here. Don't be scared about locking in profits. Nothing wrong with locking in profits in front of it and then holding runners. Yeah, 820 is going to get wrecked. For sure, they're going to wreck him. There's no way they're leaving this guy. This 820 is going to get popped like an absolute savage. New low of day here. Sub 5,200 now on the ES. Like we said, SPY, in my opinion, can trade down to 508 today if it really wants. 520s on deck, 520s on deck, 520s on deck. We've taken that 100 lot out. 520s on deck underneath that. Here we go. 20s now taken. 820s taken. Sorry, I was saying 520s, wasn't I? 820s now taken. That buyer taken out of the market. Underneath that, we have 17,775 and then 17,600. Liquidate him? No. If they liquidate him, what I mean by liquidate him, if he's a buyer and we're going to run him out of the market, which is what we've just done. Here we go. Expansion lower, just like we talked about. Liquidating him out the market now, forcing him to feel very uncomfortable right now. Do not be a buyer in this market. Not off lows. We had an attempt up here for a potential squeeze. That's it. Otherwise, I'm not bidding lows. We've talked about it the last few days. The last thing I'd want to do is try and catch a knife in this market. RTY now 6% down. We're getting very close to halt territory again on some of these. NQ 4.80% down. This thing is in a waterfall. Lovely work if you're still in this team. I got caught monologuing, didn't I? Happens when I try and teach and trade sometimes. So next puke out level, what can we think about? We're going to have to go back to the daily again. Let's go back to the daily, have a think what we're still talking about here. We're now liquidating everyone. What's this daily level here? Going to have a quick look. Let's make sure. 750 here, folks, basically. We have a daily level at 750. I want to make sure that's accurate. '40s maybe. Let me zoom right in. Yeah, 44s, 740. Big daily level. Through that, we're going to shoot even lower, down towards 17,350. Big daily levels here into 740. So I'll be risk off into 740 here, folks. It's a big daily level. It's a big daily move. Look at the last 2 days expansion. Massive. All right, nice if you got that. Oh my God, I can't believe I got caught monologuing. That was the trade of the day versus the initial balance. We just talked about it. I was drawing it out and got caught monologuing. Looks good here. Definitely don't be picking bottoms here, please, folks. 740 to the next level. If they wreck 740, if they absolutely wreck these higher time frame stops at 740, it can just keep going. 100, 200, 300. It can start speeding up here, folks. As the panic starts to come in the market, you can start speeding up, jolting down and jolting down and jolting down. All right, so just be careful. I know, Coop. Greedy Alex is like, oh, keep going, liquidate the bulls and let me buy them cheap. The lower you go, the better for me. You can see a little bit of reaction there into 740s. We just talked about it, daily level. I think they liquidate these buys here. They are just in risk-off mode. We did it around this morning, and then we picked our direction, went, no way, guys. We're going risk-off. So tapping very close to 740s here is a big level. Underneath here, the only thing I've got left on the book, really, is 17,600. There's a 400 lot down there. My precious. Come to me, master. There you go. 740s snapped. So daily bulls wrecked. This is what we talked about. Lovely, 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 lovely. I'm absolutely devastated that I got caught monologuing to get back in. 770 run. Sorry, win number 3 with a runner at 775. Nice, mate. Nice, nice, nice. Lovely work, team. Lovely work, team. Just took a while to set up today, but if you took this short here, very, very good. And if you took this short here, very, very good. Look how easy these were. Pro trends, nice. Pro trend, nice. Much easier than that counter trend long we had a little attempt at earlier. These are beautiful, beautiful moves. If you're still in this, just keep holding a runner. Move your stop down past each swing. So you can have your stop here. If you want to be tight, you can have your stop here right now. Really, really nice team. Oh my gosh, this market is in full liquidation mode. Everything we talked about. It had the chance to do that squeeze earlier. It couldn't do it. Probably everyone tried to buy it like we did, except they weren't smart enough to take their profits. We're coming down. Look how quickly we're accelerating to that level on SPY I talked about. SPY can come down to 508.20. When I said that, we were at 514. We're now at 510. This thing is in a hurry. Why is it in a hurry? It's absolute panic out there in the market right now. Remember, we talked about this, especially those who are here early. The swipes up can be 100, 200 points. Here's the swipe up like we just talked about. How big is this? 100-point swipe up. These are big moves, folks. These are big moves. We talked about it, especially those in Discord. We went over all this stuff. The swipe ups can be nasty on liquidation events, right? Because you get shorts chase. Then they all get forced to cover because they've got it wrong. And we swipe up, and then those buyers who are stuck slam it again. And they're like, get me out of this break even. And we wash all the way back down fast. So just be careful here. Be careful of capitulation. Look at the VIX. We came right back up towards pre-market highs, right into 45s and got stuck. How can you tell when to enter a trade? I don't like. Support became resistance. Initial balance. Bear flag. You can enter here or you can enter here. Are you doing the course trend tree? So all in the course. There's your setup. Very clear level here to risk off. Short versus this. Very clear level. All the way back up now. Capitulation. All the way back up now. Shorts chase. Short chased. Squeeze back up. Where? Into this area probably. Back testing right now. Overnight low. This is a big level. Do they sell overnight low? Do we get through? Do they get through IB? Do they start a bigger squeeze upside here? Lots of possibilities. You should have made your money. Low-hanging fruit, we took it. We nailed it. Yeah, doing the course trend tree, it's all in the course. That's an initial balance expansion play. This purple line, think about this. Support became resistance. This is also initial balance. This is your bear flag. When we're under initial balance, we are only looking downside. Low-hanging fruit was right here. So you had a clear target here with runners. Right back into these key levels now. So reclaiming the overnight low here. How we act now at the initial balance will be key. This can still be a failed auction. If this is a capitulation event with big volume, all right, and too many shorts, this is the thing. If too many shorts chase when we have these big washes and they get stuck, they get squeezed out. If we start reclaiming here, we go up and up and up and up until we find higher time frame sellers again. Big ifs and buts, but we did talk about this pre-market, folks. I said the swipe ups can be very nasty in markets like this. This is a 200-point swipe up there in 1, 2, 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 200-point swipe up. Initial balance towards the end of the course, but to do it all in order and everything, we'll tie it together at the end. Yeah, I tie everything together at the end. Is this a bear flag area of redistribution? Potentially. What's really depending right now is what the narrative is. Is this the capitulation and they've had enough and they want to protect it? Or is this just the trade up, find more sellers, liquidate this, go next move down? Lots of if, buts, and maybes. But I wouldn't be thinking long, that's for sure. But that can change if we start to print above highs. I'd say these guys here are primed to get run out right now. If they get stuck, remember, this is big volume up. If they hold this level, they can go back upside for this, and then we think about either upside or just a little trap and all the way back down. It will move fast, violently, back and forth in big range very quickly because you've got lots of people stuck in the market. Higher time frame bulls are stuck in the market. Lower time frame shorts are chasing breakdowns. Remember, most shorts Most people chase breakdowns. They are not smart enough to play against key levels. They chase it once it breaks. And it's them that cause this squeeze up. So far, I would be sticking with the thesis of lower prices until it proves otherwise. Yeah, nice work, Peter. 2 big wins. You're done. Have a great weekend. Everyone who traded this well today and yesterday, have a great weekend. Just enjoy the time off. Enjoy the victories. I'm not up huge today, but I've made my money. And I'm not greedy. Trentry, just stick with it. I promise you it will come together. The course gets more and more intense as you get towards the end. Stick with it. Keep turning up on the live stream. It will start to come together for you. Stuck at that overnight low. If we start reclaiming these overnight lows, look at the VIX ducking back inside here. If we start reclaiming initial balance, if we start reclaiming all these levels, there is the chance of a move or a squeeze back higher through the IB here. Oh, my stomach is rumbling. So lower time frame right now has the potential to squeeze. Higher time frame will say lower. Lower time frame has the potential to squeeze. Watching this move back to initial balance here, watching the tape here to see if higher time frame sellers come back in and say, no way, we're not going back inside in this market. No chance. This is like back testing the initial balance. Remember, this can still be a failed auction underneath. It would be absolutely disgusting, but it can absolutely be a failed auction underneath. Wrote a positive review on Trustpilot yesterday. Super helpful. Well, thank you very much. Is it close to getting halted? It was. Definitely the RTY was, but obviously we've moved. We're now almost 300 points off that low. It's insane. 650s. Oh, sorry, 200 points. 200 points off that low, and if we keep drifting upside. So it's clawed quite a lot back, but we were almost 6% down on the RTY, that was at least. The other's 5% down. So back towards the initial balance here, back inside of the overnight range. Remember, this here was the Asia low. We've swept it. We've reclaimed it. If we start pumping above here, this will be a failed auction. I know it's hard to believe, but that's what it will be. If we keep rejecting this level here, we can move back downside. But there was a huge amount. Look at the volume traded here. This is the key thing. Big volume traded down here. Big volume. Here's IB. These are massive, massive levels now. If shorts got cooked there, this can be absolutely wild for the rest of the day. They're going to run these IBs out. 900 key. Remember, we'll get through 900. Very, very likely we trade up into 18,000 and 18,050, which was an over and under all day long. Yeah, easiest patterns to focus on. Head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, and flags. Understanding who's trapped. Just focus on those. U-shapes and triangles. That's all you need to focus on, really. U-shapes and triangles. You can make this really simple for yourself. All right, if you're really struggling, make this really simple. Just do a nice trend line. Sellers are in control. We break back over that. Short-term buyers came in control for relief. You can make it super, super simple for yourself with trend lines. Start with trend lines if you're a new trader. Start with trend lines. Everyone says trend lines don't work. Bullshit. Only an ICT moron would say that. If you walked into an institutional bank, if you walked into institutional traders, their screens will not be full of ICT stuff. They will have EMAs, SMAs, volume, and trend lines on their charts. Believe me. So ES rejecting its IB. NQ rejecting its IB for now. Coming back down. We're still in auction lower until it reclaims that initial balance, remember. We're still in an auction lower until it reclaims its initial balance. Technically, we're in a sell until it reclaims its initial balance. But the lower time frame has definitely picked up bullish momentum here. There is a chance of a squeeze out if too many shorts got cooked trying to chase that low of day. I'm pretty much done for the day. We've got half an hour left. I'm going to stay half an hour. Why am I not staying an hour? Because I'm not interested in Jerome Powell talking today. Tyson says it really starts to make sense after doing the course. When you're here watching Alex doing the live commentary, you'll be going, oh, I remember that from the course. Looks obvious when he draws it. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly why we started doing the live streams. Exactly that reason, Tyson. Give it a couple months. Yeah, give it time, team. Give it time. Those doing the course, if you're a new trader, give it time. Those who've been trading for a long time before, it will probably click a little bit sooner. But the problem you will have versus brand new traders, you will be coming to me with bad habits. Right, so it depends what you're going to be. Are you a newer trader without the bad habits? Here's your IB. Are you a newer trader without the bad habits? Or, oh, look at that pop through IB. Wow, driving higher. 50's on deck now. This is the squeeze we talked about. This is major relief rally now. They can go all the way up to 18,000, 1850. How they act up there is going to be absolutely key. Here's 18,000 coming up. Not too far. Like we said, this is it. They got trapped. They got cooked at those lows. They got trapped. They forced their way into it. Here's squeeze relief, major squeeze relief now. This can get real, real nasty. If they keep holding this, it can get nasty. Was there any news there, folks, or was that just relief through the IB? I'm not sure. Maybe some of you can tell me. I'll move some of my levels around here. So watching this, 18,000, if they get through that, we know 18,000, 1850 was a big over-under. VWAP here, if we get through that, we can drift all the way up, all the way up. Look at this go. Gonna be a battle here. It is gonna be a battle here between time frames now. You are coming into big key levels very, very quickly. 18,000 reclaimed. Having to move so many lines around here as we just drift through everything. Trying to move my supply and demand, see, make sure I'm like leveled out properly. So shorts got squeezed. Look at the VIX. Holy cow. Trump making a deal with Vietnam. There you go. Nice, Jeff. Yeah, so did you take that reclaim of initial balance? This is what I said. The news will move the market today. You've got to be so quick. And it's going to be like this for a few weeks, folks, because we're going to expect all these countries to either do what China did and said, F you, you know, we're going to tariff you on this, or do what Vietnam did and said, hey, let's do a deal. Can't be chasing this long now. This is in major, major squeeze mode. Back into these key levels. If we get through there, we have relief higher. All right, we're reclaiming VWAP. If we get through here, we have relief up into the initial balance. We have through here, we can keep going. Can absolutely keep going. If too many shorts got stuck at the lows, it can keep going. Remember, we took all the low-hanging fruits. Nice, Jeff. IB breaker. Lovely. Yeah. Initial balance reclaim. We talked about it, didn't we? It can be a failed auction. There's your inverse head and shoulder. There's your pivot. 1, 2, squeeze, go. Through the 50s now, testing everything. Low-hanging fruit here, we're right into it. 72, there's a wick there. Get through that, 100s. Get through that, VWAP. Get through that, IB high. Get through that, keep going. You want to see, if you're thinking about a long, you need a pullback. You cannot just be chasing this up here if you're even considering taking anything. You can get absolutely slammed on its face up here. Remember, this is a big level. It's been a big level all day. This level here has been a big level. You need to see it pull back and hold, really. Remember, all the longs are squeezes. All the longs are just squeezes. They're shorts tripping over themselves to get out the market. That's all they are. Lovely, lovely work, team. Lovely, lovely work. Watching the tape here to see if there's much on the tape. No one really turning up. Alex, your course does work. Well worth it. Thank you, Jeff. Definitely. That's definitely worth it. They're technical setups. Once you learn to see them, I can get it. It takes a little bit of time for it to come together for people to be able to see it. But once you understand it, it will really make a difference. So rebalancing now. This H1 bar, we've gone wick to wick. You'd really want to see this pull back and hold if you're thinking about higher prices. Remember, we're rejecting supply right now. That level we just went to, sort of 8. I can't get my levels right. 18,050. Because the numbers are moving so quick, I'm going from 17,000 to 18,000, 17,600, 18,100. It's crazy. So if this dip holds here and they can squeeze back through, there's potential more upside here. If there's a dip that holds here, there's potential more upside. But so far, we're rejecting that supply. That red box, it's been the red box all day since here. It was blue box here, turned it to red, turn it to red. If they get through that, there's more relief. If they can't get through that, got a fly going around my screen. And maybe not. And it's headline news right now. What is this fly? Get out of here. Get out of here, fly. So back towards the IB. Will be key here whether they protect this IB or not. Remember, this was a big squeeze up. Big old squeeze up. And the market is moving very fast. The main move today has been to the sell side. It's been selling. Main move is not upside. But if we hold the IB here, it has a chance to do that move higher, which we're starting to see. It's trying to build liquidity versus this IB. VWAP is absolutely key. Supply is absolutely key. This is the dance now. This is the liquidity dance here. Right, so if it can hold here, it has a chance for a bid up here. If it gets under here, I'd be very, very careful about thinking about any longs. So who knows what he's saying? I haven't been able to keep up if that's a live event. You've also got Powell coming in 20 minutes. That was a big squeeze there on the market. 400 odd points, was it? 500 point squeeze. Woof. That is massive. Companies bouncing off Vietnam news to cut tariffs to 0. Shoes, furniture, apparel. So that will affect Nike, Crocs, all the companies that basically create apparel in Vietnam. Yeah, there you go. 415 point bounce in 13 minutes. So here's the protection of the initial balance. This is what I was talking about. If they start squeezing this here and holding it, if they break back through 800 here, it can get going. It's very, very tempting here. Seller on the tape here at 18,000. I keep saying 800. These numbers are mad, 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 mad numbers. All right, I'm in this. Stop moving up straight away. I want to see it just break through 1800, 18,000. If it can't do it, I'm out. It's got to hold pivots here. It's tiny size, by the way, folks. Tiny, tiny size, because this is high risk. We're playing off this pivot, looking for a break through here. And I want this to move up. Stops right here. If it takes me out, it takes me out. I'm playing with house money. I'm playing with one tiny little pathetic micro. No minis. All right, probably out here. It's almost tap me, tap me, tap me. Tap me. There, I'm out. Had a chance. Stop was straight in the money, like I said. Straight into the money, or straight into break even. Can build out and I can think about going again. It might need a 2-leg. To be honest, it might need a 2-leg, something like this. Don't mind having another attempt at it either. Oh, it's going to go without me. Starting to see these flow zones condense. 18,000 is definitely key as an over-under here. I want to take another trade, but I need to pee. And we've got Powell coming in 20 minutes, right? I've got to pee. I'll be right back. No, don't go at me. I knew that was going to happen as soon as I went to the toilet. Oh, you bugger. You bugger, you. All right, back to supply here. If you're in this versus flow zones, you look pretty good. All right, maybe I was a bit stingy there, but if you're in here versus flow zones and IB, you look good. Look at the pivot. Think about how this has moved. Pivot. This is now a long. This is squeeze relief, and it can keep going higher. If they keep getting trapped, it can keep going higher. You'll be surprised how high this can go. Like I always say to people in the Discord, squeezes can go longer and higher than you expect, especially in days like today. Think about today. Everyone got short here. Added. Capitulation, added. Trump talks, ow. All right, so if we keep getting relief, these guys can get run out the market. I promise you it can happen. I'm not saying it has to happen. Do not be betting against the market in front of you. If we're in a squeeze, do not be forcing a short in this market. You will get your face ripped off. W number 4, Jeff. I love it. 62 points, 1 micro. This is it, right? This is it. The micros add up. I'm up over $2,000 on the day now, or maybe just a little bit under that, but they add up very, very quick. Through the supply now, through that over-under level, okay? We can see we rejected it, we're reclaiming it. Next stop's VWAP. Then we're looking IB high. I think it's very, very probable we go IB high. I missed my entry taking a P. I thought that might happen. Oh, my God. I wanted to be in it. I knew I needed a toilet. You got to laugh. You got to laugh. That's what if I missed there? What if I missed there if I took that 18,000 move, sort of 100-pointer? If you took it versus IB, look how nice that was versus the initial balance when we were talking about it. So good. So good. Even in these tricky markets, team, we're making good money in these tricky markets. Playing the same rules. Right, the same rules. What did we say? I said it's very hard to believe. I know because it's so big, but this can be a failed auction. There's the proof that's a failed auction. There's the trade inside. Where do we go from the auction? VWAP, VWAP. This is target right now. Through there, IB high. You should be long only right now. You should not be thinking about any shorts. The moment we got through there, you should not be thinking about shorts. This is telling you these guys are stuck. Create these rules for a reason. Sorry, folks, just catching up with some family here. Tyson saying, what are you replying to? Let me go up, see what's. I can see the trend tree saying, I can see the bear and bull flags form, and they form, but not before they form. Oh, it will come. It will start to come together. Don't worry. Yeah, Pal talks in 15 minutes here, folks. Or maybe a bit less, 10 minutes. Tyson, yeah, me too. That's where the rules help, like this flag that just happened. It built right after the failed auction. Exactly, Tyson. Remember, the game we're playing is liquidity. The game we're always playing is liquidity. We're either searching for higher time frame liquidity or we're building and using lower time frame liquidity. What was the higher time frame liquidity? Here, right? And we had that daily level that we traded into down on the SPY down here. Right? So once we've taken those out, low-hanging fruits are gone. What's my rule? Once the low-hanging fruits are gone, I'm less interested in runners only. What's the rule with the initial balance? Under the initial balance, we're thinking about shorts and continuation. Once we get back above the initial balance, this becomes a failed auction, meaning what? This liquidity here is trapped. These are short sellers. Short sellers, short sellers, short sellers, short sellers. They chase the market here. Major short selling. and they're trapped. Once we get over this pivot, they're trapped. So we squeeze them out. Lots of them cover here. So we squeeze, 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 squeeze. When we come back here, what do we give them a chance to do? Get out at a cheap price or break even. This is your flag. This is us using their liquidity. This is VWAP. What is the trade that we always talk about from the initial balance? IB to VWAP. This is the trade here. That's the trade. I had a go at it, went for a peak, got knocked out of it, and came back, and it's almost there already. And we've reclaimed supply. So you had one drive up. Think about this. If you miss this break to push to supply, it's okay. We test supply. We come back in. We create this. What's this? What's this? Where do we want to go? All right. Very, very simple. Keep it simple, folks. Keep the rules there. Keep it simple. Those of you who have done the course, who trade with me every single day, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Trying to build now. What are we trying to build on? This now is an RBS. Support, resistance, resistance, now support. What are we building? Flag to go where? VWAP and IBH. So while I'm trying to do everything at once here, trying to teach you while texting to family members, and my wife just told me she didn't get a chance to walk the dog, so I've got to do that as well. Trying to juggle lots of things. Was just going to say that's an RBS is clean. Yeah, exactly, TR. See, you are seeing it. Everyone's seeing it. Lovely. Into here, partial into here, partial into here, runners above that. Lovely, right? How simple has this level been? How many times have we talked about this level today? It was support here. It was support here. It was resistance here. It was support again and support again and support again and resistance and resistance. And now it's support again. All you got to do is see the levels. Play the levels, level to level, level to level, zone to zone, as I would call it, flow zones. Play the flow from zone to zone. It should be looking for a partial into view up here. SPY, ES, sorry, and NQ coming into view up here. One thing I haven't done today is look at the stream. I don't know how many people we got on stream or how many likes. Let's have a look. Hopefully some decent amount. 116, not bad for a Friday. I'll take it. I'll take it. How many of you made money with me today? Give me a W in chat if you made money. Give me an L in chat if you took a small loss, and give me a 0 if you just stayed on flat, sitting in your hands and learning. All of those are okay. All of those are okay, but it's just interesting to see. Lots of you made money. Vince, Myron, Jeffrey. Oh, wow. Look at this. I love it. I love it. You're all making money. Look at you. Vince, Myron, Jeffrey, Yulamar, Kaladin, Jeff, Michael, BE, DPFTW, Go for Hill, David. I can't keep up. It's moving so quickly. Aaron, Leron, Minix, Paul, Govindi, Clint, Geordie, Omalabi, Sloth. I love it, team. It's the same people every day. It's great. Tim V, Miguel, TR, Lee Kim, Trentry sat in your hands. Nothing wrong with that. Brandon sat in your hands. Nothing wrong with that. Do you know what? That's really good. I'm almost more impressed with that than taking trades, especially that like you two are both learning at the moment. It's the right thing to do. Joseph, Tyson, Mr. Slim, John Dennis, Nick, Ash, Mr. Slim, great weekend. Great week, everyone. Yeah, fantastic week. Have a good weekend. Hit the like for the wins, Cladden says. Yes, please. Alan, Marek. Tech Tony. On my hands, day 2. No, again, Logan, nothing wrong with that. I know you're new in the membership with me. Yulamar, is the retest of the flag a short? Is the retest of a flag a short? There's no short in this market right now. No short in this market right now. The market wants to go higher. Where's the liquidity it wants to aim for? These stops. Market wants to go higher. The only short would be if we started to really want to break back under here. We started to roll and get stuck. Right now, this is just a long to go up. That's all I'd be thinking about. What are the flow zones? What's this? Buy. Where are we? Above here. Are we above VWAP? Yeah. Can this build out to go higher? Yeah. The only thing I'd be considering right now is a long for a move. Partial into this VWAP here, partial into the initial balance. Hold on for your runners, because if we get through that, we get real thin. I'm not saying it's impossible to get all the way up here today. If we get above this and we base, this is also possible. This is an old anchor. It's very, very possible. If they really want to send it today, they will. We can also do what, team? What do we do inside initial balances? We can fail back down and inside. Do the same thing that we did here, we can do here. Inside, failed auction. Inside, failed auction. We can also do that. But right now, my bias would be long for a moves back into here. The problem is right now for me, I've missed my entry. My entry was down here, down here. This was the cheap buy. This was the best buy down here. Down here, you've got to let it rebuild. If we fail back down here, yes, there's possibly a short, but I'm not considering any more right now. And you have what, like, some people are saying Powell's talking at 11:25. I had him at half past at 11:30. What do you guys have him at? 11:25 or 11:30? I'm going to check on Market Watch again. $11:25. Okay, yeah, he is talking in 2 minutes. I'll be wrapping this baby up. I'm ready to get off stream and go enjoy my weekend. Yeah, exactly, Tyson. Retesting. It's not a good location now. My bias would be drift higher. Obviously, the problem right now is you've got news coming. My bias is still drift higher. Look how the flow zones are now crossing. Momentum starting to cross the deep pullback. We're starting to hold that RBS level. But again, you've got news coming and you're back testing some big levels. So I'm risk off. I'm definitely done for the day. 100% I'm done for the day. I'm not trading when Powell talks. I'm not wasting my afternoon here sitting at the market. I would not be surprised to see this market end up way further up. Please, guys, if you were long into this move, please take some money. You have no idea what Jerome Powell's gonna say. He could say anything right now. What if he comes out and says, the tariffs have caused unnecessary pressures on the market. We're not going to be able to cut. We see it as a problem. We're going to be higher for longer. Inflation is going to be more problematic than expected. You know, like anything can be said. Anything can be said. I've also got the 9:30 print here. It deleted it on this screen for some reason, which is annoying. I have it. Why is it not on this one? Must have deleted it accidentally. So we came right into this. This is your New York Open. Through that, there is upside. Telling you, through these levels, there's more squeeze. There's a lot of shorts who got their stops up here right now. 2 seconds till he starts talking. All right, team. So he is scheduled to talk right now. I am done for the day. I'm out of here. Thank you for joining me this week. Hopefully you made some nice money with me this week. Hopefully I kept you safe. Hopefully you stuck to the rules. It's your first time trading with me and being with me here this week. Thank you for joining. I wish you a fantastic weekend. I'm going to remind you what I say every single week. Your job as a trader is to be able to trade the next day. Right now, that means Monday. Do not overstay your welcome in the market. Do not over leverage yourself in the market. Do not burn out by looking at the screens too much. These markets are open 23 hours a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week if you include the half session on Sunday. That's giving yourself no time to recuperate. You've got to give yourself time to rest. Right, you're a human being. We are meant to be out in nature. We are meant to be social creatures. We're meant to be active creatures. Doing what we're doing here, looking at screens, is none of those things. All right, give yourself a chance to recoup and rest. Go and enjoy your weekend. Go and get off the screens. Go and be with loved ones. Do something that you enjoy. Fill your cup. Okay, for me, that's going to be probably going to the gym, going for a cycle, going out with my dog, going out with my wife. I'm going to go and see friends tomorrow. I'm going to go and get a wholesome weekend so that when I come back Monday, I feel refreshed. Do not sit here all weekend stewing, overlooking at the screens, absorbing too much information. It is only going to make you exhausted, all right? It's a tough job as it is. Let yourself recoup. I'll be back Monday, all right? Monday morning, going to be back Monday morning with you all as always. Don't forget, you've got until the 14th, I believe, for these sales now. I think they've said. TraderFi has a sale on 30% off all accounts, 40% off for first-time buyers. I believe that ends the 14th of March. You've got a little bit of time. No idea when this one ends, all right? No idea on Take Profit Trader. 30% off for life, no activation fee. I have no idea when that ends. So, I mean, grab what you can. For everyone else, in the Discord, I'll pop in later in the day. I'll keep you informed with what I'm looking at, but I'm definitely not actioning any more trades today. It ended up being a much better day than anticipated. I love you all. Take care. Please use hard stops. Please, 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 please use hard stops. Peace and love. See you Monday.